Yeah, no, I don't think I'll have any problem making that tea time. And but this time you're paying for the drinks at the clubhouse. No problem, yeah. Okay, all right, well, it's good to talk to you. I'll see you later. Yeah, hi, guys. Oh, crap, here. Oh, gosh, oh, man. It's been one of those days. Everything's falling off. Okay.
Yeah, we've had a heck of a day ourselves.
Okay, yeah, but you probably haven't seen anything like I've seen, I'll tell you. Well, so Mr. and Mrs. Frost, right? How's Helen doing?
Well, actually, I married Scott about 10 years ago. My name is Mrs. Goodman now, and this isn't Helen, it's Holly.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You see, I'm just not up to speed on Holly's history. You know, let's see. You know, this, in fact, I've only seen her once before. You've seen Doctor Who, Dr. Watts, Huar, and Weinberg.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of consistency in your practice of seeing the same doctor, but you know, it's really time that we look at her health care plan as she moves into adult services. So I was hoping that would be the intent of our meeting today, and that's why I brought some questions here to talk to you about.
She's still plenty young, you know. I mean, I think you've got plenty of time to worry about transition. Let's talk about that when she's closer to 18.
Well, she is 16 this month, and I'm feeling like a lot of the times this takes a long time. It takes almost 6 to 9 months, hasn't it, honey, to get in to even see you? Yeah, I think we need to really get on this.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think you ought to schedule an appointment now for about a year from now, and I think that'll be just about the time to talk about it. And in fact, yeah, you know, she'll be 18 then, and you know, just so you know, we don't follow kids once they turn 18. This is a pediatric practice.
Well, would you have any recommendations? I know that with all her other specialists, we've got neurologists, we've got a GI doc, and we just started seeing an orthopedic doctor as well. Do you have any recommendations of anyone of your colleagues that maybe we should look into transferring her care?
Yeah, excuse me, that's delicate medical equipment. Let me have that back here. Young lady, I need that.
Well, she's just trying to, engage.
Well, I know, but I have to worry about germs and some of the other things. But let's see. In getting back to your question, I'm not sure. No, I really can't think of anybody. You know, now you can talk to Marge, our receptionist. I think she mentioned that her cousin's a doctor, or maybe it's a.
She's trying to communicate.
Maybe
with
it's
you.
a dentist.
She's trying to tell you what she shows us through her pick sims is she's actually very interested in working in community theater, and we're looking at some job skills that will lead us into that.
I don't think that's realistic for her. I think I think they've got a place. There's a job center. I think I heard about somewhere that she can. They need people to screw caps on toothpaste and.
Doctor, I really feel like we need some help here. This is an area that really hasn't been looked at for a long time. I've gone, internet search. I've looked in another library. There's just, there's this whole gap between pediatric and adult health care, and. I was hoping that you, as her pediatrician and providing her medical home, would be able to help us with this.
Medical home?
Well, it's an approach to healthcare that's comprehensive and family-centered and culturally competent, and this is something.
The way Medicaid pays me, for Holly, I got to tell you, we're focused on just kind of making sure that she doesn't die on you, okay?
Wow.
And also,
what we really like to do is have Holly integrated into a community setting, and sometimes that brings some healthcare risks and different vaccinations, maybe even the potential of, maybe a tetanus shot. Wasn't that
Mrs. Frost, I just have to tell you as your doctor, I think that I've got to bring you back to reality here. I mean, Holly's got a disability. I think your expectations are just, a little bit too high along those lines. I mean, I think you should be grateful that she's healthy and that her seizures aren't really giving her too much problems. And I think, you're asking for some things that just are not realistic along the line.
My husband and I don't agree with that. We believe that Holly's abilities can guide her life more than her disabilities, and clearly she's been pointing to her pick sims during this meeting.
Is that true, Steve? You go along with that crap?
Who's Steve? My name's Scott.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Yeah. Well, you have been pretty quiet, and I like that. I think it's letting the women talk. That's I think where things are they're at here. But any questions before we wrap up?
Well, actually, you really haven't answered any of our questions. I'd feel a lot better if we had a doctor that